Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn, and I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. Hey, did you know that June is the month for Full Figured Fashion Week? Full Figured Fashion Week, or the Plus Size Oscars as it is known to many, runs from June 14th through the 20th in New York City. In honor of FFF Week, I have decided to devote all of our June episodes to all things FFF Week. My guests today are social media and sponsorship gurus for FFF Week, Shana Washington, a.k.a. Shay Rose, and Miss Kimberly McCarter. Welcome, Shay and Kim, to Model Behavior.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right, so let's just, let's get right into it. Let's talk about, I'll start with you, Kimberly. What is it that you do? Can you elaborate on what a sponsorship guru for FFF Week does?
That's how the show gets paid.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to explain it. I'm responsible for going out, pitching businesses, whether they are corporate sponsors, the big brands like the Lane Bryants, the Ashley Stewarts, Fit For Me, and also our small business retailers and owners, and having them donate financial sponsorship and or in-kind investments to help us make sure our show is always a success.
Okay. And so, well, I know what you do, but I want you to tell everybody what you do. Use social media, guru, you.
Well, I use different applications to reach audience via social media. So the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook. I use different apps to make that, flow very sufficiently and reach larger audiences, whereas we don't have to post all day. We are posted all day.
Yeah, you were trying to teach me that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still working on that.
You
So
learn it.
the social media piece, I know it's important. I mean, I've been trying to ignore it for the longest, but I know that it's really, really important. Would you say that it's vital to a business person today?
Now, yes, it is, because everybody uses social media for everything. So you can get reviews, you can find location, you can find the menu to a restaurant, you can find everything via social media. So it's like everybody looks to that comfort zone. Facebook is, everybody's home basically now. So you'll go to a Facebook like page before you go to a person's website now.
That is very that is very true. I never thought of it like that. So is it? Well, is it even necessary to have a website these days?
It is.
Absolutely.
You have to have a home, but at the same time, it's a way that I think your clientele and all the people can basically talk to you, and it feels real one-on-one. Because we're on Facebook, and just like we talk to our friends and our family, it's like you're talking to the business, and you get that response or whatever. It feels like you really got a one-on-one answer, and you feel a little closer to the business.
Okay, Kim. Now you have a business. It's called Corporate Curves LLC. It's a boutique branding and business coaching agency.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you come up with that, and what do you do within that business?
So back in 2009, ironically, I volunteered for the first Full Figure Fashion Week. And when I left that experience, I decided I wanted to be inside the industry. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wasn't going to be a model. I knew that wasn't happening. So me and a friend started a blog called The Curvy Spot. And as we were growing the Curvy
was you?
Spot, yes.
Oh.
So as we were growing the Curvy Spot, and that's at a time when blogging was not popular at all, but we were real heavy into social media. And I learned how to connect with audiences, and I started doing brand consulting for some of the bigger brands inside the plus size industry. And I realized that while blogging was fun, there was no real paycheck attached to it. So I started doing more consulting, and that's how Corporate Curves was born.
Okay, so your business is about teaching people how to strengthen their brand.
Yes.
And
So what I do under Corporate Curves is I do consulting for branding for people who want to learn who their ideal client is and who want to attract that paying customer with little to no effort. It's kind of like not having to struggle to pay the bills of your business and support your lifestyle. And then I also, regardless of whether, I mostly work with female entrepreneurs, and it doesn't matter whether you're in startup, struggle, or stardom. My job is to help you connect with that ideal client.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, Shay, your business is called SW Consulting, Social Media Management and Advertising Agency. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff.
No, that's what I do. Okay. It's just SW Consulting.
So you consult people as well.
Yes.
So elaborate on what it is that you do.
Well, I deal with more so smaller businesses, and I help as far as I do the plans and stuff like that. But I'm more so on the market for you. I'm doing PR work. I'm helping you make collaborations with other businesses under my umbrella as well as outside, and just making sure I do a lot of the social media.
Okay.
So that's more so, but I do have clients that I help with events and give advisement on how to, make those things successful as well.
And how does one turn visions into branding realities?
Things like memes and things like that, like
What's a meme?
a meme.
Oh,
With your logo.
M-E-M-E.
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Yes.
The social media guru. When we started putting the memes and with your logos on it and putting quotes and with your pictures, it makes your audience comfortable with you and knowing what you are about and just expressing your brand in a very powerful way.
Okay. Now, romance your hustle.
That's me.
Let's talk about that. What's that?
Romance Your Hustle is my signature program under Corporate Curves. And under that program, it has a DIY component because one thing I've noticed with small business owners, everyone needs a return on investment, especially the small business owner because the pockets are a lot tighter, so to speak. So what I did was I developed a program that meets the needs of the female entrepreneur, and it goes back to whether she's in startup, struggle, or stardom. Because when someone's in stardom or looking to move to stardom, they need more one-on-one assistance. And I consider that my VIP clients.
Now, when you say move to stardom, what do you mean?
That means they are looking to become or be considered experts in their niche.
Okay.
They're ready to step from behind their desk where they may just be a blogger or they just may be a boutique just capturing the sale to standing up and saying, I am the face of my brand.
Okay.
Whereas if they're in struggle or startup, the funds are a little tighter. So I created a DIY program that's kind of self-taught and kind of just does a membership site for them. And they can go on, listen to my videos, listen to my audios, fill out tons of workbooks. So I give people adult homework. And under this adult homework, it helps them recognize their ideal client, develop their brand. So that way when they go to someone like a Shay and she says, tell me about not your business, but your brand, they can say, oh, I know my colors. I know what my vision for my brand is. I know who my customer is, and I know exactly how. I just need you to reach them.
Okay, well, without divulging too much, because we want them to go to your website, which you're going to tell me in a minute, how do you, I'm having a senior moment. The colors and all, the vision. What do you do if you, I don't know that. So how does one find that out?
It's a series of, it's really, when I say adult homework, it truly is adult homework. I've developed different workbooks and worksheets that pulls that information from people, and also I can find it out in conversation. Like a lot of times someone will come to me and say, they could be a creative entrepreneur, but their client, they want a luxury type client, someone who's going to spend money. And the idea of that is someone who may be like a jewelry designer. And we know there's different types of jewelry designers. So if you're a more high-end jewelry designer, you can't really say that your customer is a 20-year-old because a 20-year-old doesn't have the luxury to purchase a $100 necklace. Whereas someone who's career-minded, who's 30 plus, that should be more your ideal customer. So it's my job to pull that out of you. And also if someone comes to me and they say, speaking of the luxury designer, hey, I want my colors to be hot pink and yellow. That doesn't speak luxury. Luxury is more gold,
That's the question I was trying
silvers.
to get to. Okay.
Yes. So I kind of help them tell that brand story.
Okay, all right. What's your website?
Corporate-curves.net.
All right. Shay,
Yes.
now, this is Kim's page. First soiree, the girls club. Was that your first event or?
That was the first, my first group that I started when I worked for a non-for-profit organization, and that was like the beginning of me making Full Figure Fly and Fabulous.
Oh, right. Full Figure Fly and Fabulous. This is
Yes.
a Facebook group. You
Yes.
have. Okay. So, tell me about that.
So I have over 1,000 girls that we started this group maybe I think 4 years ago. And it's like we just share quotes, we share recipes, we just inspire each other. We have the like pages, we all promote each other and just promote awareness, the events that's going on in different communities. And it's women from all over. We have people from Trinidad and Tobago, girls from Europe, everybody. And it's just, we feel like it's a sisterhood, and that's what we call it.
Now, how did you come up with that concept?
Well, I just was like, I need somewhere where I can go get my opinions, and we don't feel like it's a secret group. You can't see the comments anywhere on Facebook if you're not in the group.
Okay.
So I wanted to be like we were comfortable, and we don't have to worry about a guy jumping on a comment and saying something out the way. And I was like, where can I do? Well, we can do this right here. And I started it off with a few of my friends, and then I told them, y'all add 5 friends too. So it went from that, and then I kept telling every girl that came into the group, add 5 people. And so it's like we're kind of comfortable with each other because it's 5 of your friends and then 5 of your friends.
Okay, see how that will work.
We just, keep it going, and it's just confidence quotes and everything plus.
Now, have you guys ever met in person?
Well, I have.
Are you working on something like
no,
that?
No, we've done little groups.
Yeah.
And
we've done party.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
the
you in
vision
this
board
group
party.
too?
Yes.
Why come I'm not in this group?
Oh man, I'm about to get in trouble.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna add you tonight. But yes, it's just been fun, the experience where, like I seen someone yesterday say, I know a girl that's a size 28 and we're having problems finding clothes for her. It started a thread of like 15 things. People like, you should go here, giving suggestions, recommendations. I got some donations for you. So it's like, it's just like a helpful place for all of us.
That's real cool. Yeah. All right, back to you. Now this is this is for Full Figure Fashion Week. This is all of our episodes are dedicated to FFF Week. So before we run out of time, let's talk about you and what you do for FFF Week. Now, you said you started out, you volunteered in 2009.
Yes.
Funny how I don't remember that, but I was working press in 2009, so our paths probably would not have crossed.
No.
But how did you come into what it is you're doing for Full Figure Fashion Week?
So I'm one of the people who can gratefully say I have been in some way, shape, or form involved in Full Figure Fashion Week since 2009. Whether I was a volunteer, whether I was a brand ambassador for one of the sponsors, whether I was a blogger on the fashion front. A couple of years ago, I worked with a nonprofit organization as the director of marketing, who shall remain nameless.
Okay.
And when I departed that organization, Gwen actually asked me, she inboxed me, she was like, hey, I need a sponsorship coordinator. My instinct was, that involves sales? I am not no salesperson.
Girl, that's just me.
That's a lot of sales. And I called Gwen auntie. So I was like, auntie, I don't know. She was like, trust me, you can do this. She said, I'll guide you through it. I'll mentor you through it. I really think this will be a good opportunity for you. So because it was Gwen, I did it. We all know how that is. She always gets her way. So last year was actually my first year, which was supposed to be our finale year. So I came in, and because I realized from talking to Gwen that our mission for Full Figure Fashion Week is actually devoted to the small business owner. And a lot of people may not realize that. So I used that as an opportunity, especially because so many of the bigger brands were going through their own restructuring. So if anybody remembers, we didn't have any big brands as sponsors last year.
I remember.
And it hurt because our budget requirement just to get this show off the ground is really high. Like it's more than what a lot of people make in a year. And it's required just to put on a phenomenal show. So what I did was I went to the small business owner. Hey, what you got?
I know that's right.
We work with any budget. We don't turn no money away. How much you got? And I just really went ahead and built custom packages for whatever people could afford to get the event paid for. And because I had
that's the goal.
Yes.
That's always the bottom line.
That's the bottom line, to make sure we can get the event paid for and not have to sacrifice what our attendees are used to.
Okay.
So I did, that's what I do. I get it paid for. So this year, even though we have some big sponsors, we still relied heavily on our small business owners because that's really important to the Full Figure Fashion Week brand, to always give what people may consider the underdog the opportunity to showcase in front of 1,000 people, because they may not have that opportunity at all.
And that's not just them giving money. They get something for the money.
Oh, yes, they definitely do. So one thing is, I'm really big, because I am a business coach and because I'm a small business owner, I always want someone to feel like they're getting a return on their investment. So regardless of whether you're giving me $500, $5,000, or $50,000, I'm going to make sure you get your money's worth. One, with personal one-on-one attention, regardless of how many people I bring in. That's why this year, luckily, we have a team for the sponsorship coordinators. And not only that, but also making sure they get an opportunity to get in front of the people they need to get in front of. So one of my questions always is, not necessarily what's your budget, but what are you looking to accomplish during Full Figure Fashion Week? Because if you can tell me what you're willing to accomplish, if I can't make it happen, I'll be 100 with you and tell you that up front. Hey, we can't do that. But what I can do is this, just to make sure everyone always feels like they're getting that same level of attention that they may not necessarily get if they were with a different production.
Okay. Same question.
Well, I also started as a volunteer. I was street team, handed out flyers on 125th
remember
Street.
that?
I did that. I took it back there. I was on 125th Street, handed out flyers. And then I ended up doing social media the next year for 2 years. And my first official year was last year, the finale year. So I just, I'm so happy to be a part of Full Figure Fashion Week.
The social media wasn't all that big in
It wasn't.
2009.
We was handing out flyers still.
yeah,
We
that
was
was
still
it.
handing out
It
flyers.
was just starting to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to cut you off.
And so that's basically how I ended up. I was searching Gwen's page because once I found her, she already had the volunteers for 2011. So then one day she put up, she needs some street team members. Okay, I'm down. So and then from there, that's how I built my relationship with everybody because I got tickets to come to the events because of doing my street team work. And I was like, oh, this is what I want to be doing. I didn't know my niche yet. But Gwen, as always, she says, I got you. I'll mentor you. And she helped me figure out what I wanted to be doing in the industry. And once I realized my niche was doing the social media and then learning how to do the promotion, I was like, okay, I got this. And now everybody else is like, so Shay, can you teach me a trick? So what hashtag should I use?
Now, let's talk about I'm glad you brought that up because, I'm hashtagging all day long. I don't know what the hell what it stands for. I'm just writing silly shit. Ooh, I'm sorry. I just cursed. Okay, I do that from time to time. But what's the purpose of the hashtag and
Well, if you have a public page and you use hashtags, you can reach a very large audience because anybody that uses that same hashtag, you can go on a public page and find numerous pictures of other people that also use it. So you can find so much just using hashtags, and so don't stop using them. Even if you feel like it's not doing anything, do not stop.
it doesn't really matter to me. I just do it because I see everyone else doing it.
But you'll get new followers from it.
Like even for this year for Full Figure Fashion Week, we have, so this is a little secret. We actually have some amazing contests that are happening during Full Figure Fashion Week, and they're going to be exclusively tied to the hashtags.
Really?
Yes, because we're going to rely on Shay, who
I
keeps
was
our
like-
engagement going. Who keeps our engagement going. But one of the things we were blessed with this year, we have an amazing partnership with Fit For Me by Fruit of the Loom and also Ashley Stewart. So we've already announced, everyone knows we're doing the Celebrate My Size Expo, and we partnered with Plus Model Magazine for that event. Celebrate My Size is actually Plus Model's hashtag for the year to celebrate.
So it's hashtag celebrate my size. Okay.
Yes. So we're actually bringing that hashtag to life in the expo. And we're going to be having giveaways, raffles. We're going to have a beauty team on site. We're going to have stylists on site. We're talking like beauty bars and manicure stations. Ashley Stewart is having their live sample sale.
I'm sorry?
Their live, the sample sale is called, you told me to get it. I got the sample sale just for you.
All right. Yeah.
The Ashley Stewart sample sale. We're having an exclusive social media lounge at this expo. Like it's just going to be, and it's going to end with the town hall meeting. But during the expo, all of our raffles and giveaways are going to be tied to the Fit For Me hashtag that we use, as well as Ashley's hashtag for the year, which is going to be hashtag Ashley at Full Figure Fashion Week.
Hashtag Ashley at Full Figure Fashion Week.
Well,
as in the at sign.
No. Ashley at FFF Week is going to be their hashtag.
Okay.
And then we have hashtag Fit For Me FFF Week, which is the official hashtag this year because they're our premier sponsors. But it's going to help us increase engagement. And then there are also great sites out there that allow you to check your analytics based on just how often someone uses a hashtag. And we
analytics.
That's your numbers. That's
Your
how many people you're
your
reaching.
stats.
But one thing that we did realize, and we were in a meeting just a couple of days ago with Plus Model Magazine and Ashley Stewart, and they actually pulled the 3 hashtags. And ironically, just the 3 brands alone, we reach 1.5 million people.
Stop playing.
So Like,
We
yeah.
have like 18,000 followers on
That's
Facebook.
that's just Full Figure Fashion
and that's
Week,
just
yeah.
Full Figure Fashion Week. So with Plus Model Mag and Ashley Stewart,
Yeah, we definitely reach well over 1 million people. So it's important. Hashtags are definitely important.
Wow. Okay. What's that number again? 1 point.
5 million.
That's a
And that's
lot.
when, and just think about it, that's when Full Figure Fashion Week is not live. So imagine once we're
In 2
we're
weeks.
in a week, in 2 weeks,
In
because
2
we go
weeks?
live in 2 weeks.
Yes, we do.
It's gonna
So
be
in
crazy.
2 weeks, like that's why we trend and we go viral.
It's a good year trend. Let's talk about that. What does
Yeah.
that mean? Because I don't, I'm Shay tried to take me out to brunch to teach me this stuff. I'm getting it, but I'm a little
It means
slow.
we are the it thing at the moment, and
something is
everybody's
trending?
talking about us.
Yes.
And so when it goes viral, that means it's
And when something goes viral, the easiest way for me to explain that means you went outside your circle. And everybody is grabbing
whole
that-
world is talking about
it.
you. Even if not the whole world, a corner of it, which you may not never reach at any other time.
You don't know them folks.
Yeah.
You don't know them.
You
don't know them.
I'm actually in a group with other high-level entrepreneurs, and one of the things my coach told me was Facebook just announced they actually have right now like 900 million people are attached to Facebook. So
There's
that
an
is
article on that.
ridiculous that 900 million people are attached to Facebook. Can you imagine if you just reached 1%? Not even the 10% mark, but if you could reach 1%, if that was your goal.
And that's why they're using the
bananas.
advertising tool on it now.
Yes.
A lot of people are taking advantage of the advertising tool on Facebook. You can pay for the look. Sharon's face.
yeah. I just
What do you say?
I just deer in the headlights just now.
You can.
So much that goes into
There's a lot
to
of because you
building a
can reach
business
so
and
many people.
brand.
Is it
via
but is
Facebook.
it expensive or?
Well, actually, no, because one of my courses under Romance Your Hustle is Facebook advertising, and you can get Facebook advertising for as little as $5 a day. Someone like me, because I have a product that I sell, I'm a service provider, using Facebook advertising is beneficial for me. Because one, it pulls in new people who may not know about corporate curves. I also use it to build my email subscriber list. And then I also use it when someone joins my email subscriber list, in exchange for giving me your email, you get a free download from me, which opens that conversation with that person. And it allows them to find out more about my business, learn my knowledge level. And I can definitely say for every maybe 50 people that sign up to my list, if I talk to that person or they join my Facebook group, more than likely they'll become a paying customer, whether they're just joining a DIY program or whether they're going into one-on-one coaching.
This is fascinating. I know nothing about this. Nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. Like I actually have a friend who is her second year in business, and she's a multi-six-figure coach, her second year in business. Now, granted, in her last campaign, her last launch, as they call it, when you introduce something new to the coaching world, we call them launches. She launched a membership site program where she teaches people how to do business. Literally, she did definitely spend $18,000 in Facebook advertising, but she made $750,000 during that launch.
Wow.
So the potential is there.
Yeah.
The potential is definitely there if you have someone to walk you through it and who knows how to use it effectively.
And that's the key.
Yes.
I mean, because that stuff pops up, and I'm looking. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know anything about this, so I'm just.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
about
have
knowing
money
how
to
to,
waste.
that goes back to reaching your ideal client and knowing where they are and knowing how to attract them and knowing how to pull them into you.
Okay. Shay,
Yeah.
superstar, executive assistant. Let's talk about that.
Yes, well, I've been an executive assistant for Iani Couture for the last 3.5 years. And that experience is something that I've gained via working for Full Figure Fashion Week, because that's where I made the connection, of course. And I work backstage at events. I help host events, and I do a lot. Fittings, everything, like,
And you also, now you don't do sponsorship as deeply as she does, but you do,
with Sweet Bitch Wines,
yeah.
yes.
Just,
I also
is that
work-
product, no, that's different from product placement. It's,
But you do part
I
of that
do. I do
yeah.
product placement with them as well, as far as events and getting them in certain photo shoots and stuff like that. I do as well. I do work with that as well.
now how did you get into that?
I noticed that their Facebook page only had 45 likes on it, and I said, they're gonna be my new client.
There you go,
I said like this, I reached out, no,
My
the
social media light in
communication.
action.
No, seriously, it took me 3 months to get them as a client, but I was very persistent, and I was like, but why? I've been drinking this for 5 years. Why doesn't everyone know about it? Why don't you have likes? Why is social media like dead for the last 6 months? And I've been working with them for the last 2 years now. And I help them sponsor different events and things of that nature as well. And I do their social media too.
Okay. Now tell me about the Jason Jones Scholarship Fund.
I created the Jason Jones Scholarship Fund when my cousin, who I grew up with like a brother, was murdered. His son at the time was only 6 months, and I was unemployed at the time. So I didn't know how I was going to be able to help my little cousin / nephew, because financially I knew I wouldn't be able to do it on my own because I was kind of hurting. But I knew I wanted to give back, and so that was my way of giving back and giving to a cause to stop gun violence.
All right, well, we're almost out of time. But real quick, website.
ShayRose.com.
Corporate-curves.net.
Got it. All right, I'd like to thank my guests, Shay Rose and Kim McCarter, for sharing their industry knowledge with us today. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with 3 things. 1, always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. Remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. And lastly, do what you love and love what you do. Thanks for watching Model Behavior, and I'll see you next week. Make sure you remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Did you miss an episode of Model Behavior? Now you can catch up on all the prior episodes of the show by clicking on our YouTube channel. Just Google Model Behavior with Sharon Quinn, and you'll find all of our previous episodes. Don't forget, Full Figure Fashion Week happens June 14th through the 20th in New York City. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.